What's up YouTube, it's your boy Gemini back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the best settings for Fortnite Chapter 4 Season 2. Don't forget, if you guys like this video, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on and use code GEMINIBR in the Fortnite item shop. Enjoy this video. So obviously what you want to do is you want to load up your Fortnite game and you want to head over to settings. Now we're going to go through the video tab first. Before we go on to that, what you want to do is if you're on performance mode, you want to change this to DirectX 11 because there's a whole bunch of settings in the graphics quality section that you end up missing out on. So you want to click apply and restart your game. So after you restart your game, you want to go back over to the settings tab, and obviously now you'll see that in the graphics quality section there's a whole bunch of settings that you didn't have before. For windowed mode, you want to keep it on full screen because if you switch to windowed full screen or windowed mode, it actually reduces your FPS and increases your input delay as well. For resolution, you want to keep this to 1920 by 1080, or if you're using stretched res, keep it to whatever it is. For VSync, you want to keep this off. For frame rate limit, you want to keep this to 1 above your refresh rate for your monitor. So my monitor is 144 Hz, so I keep this on 160 FPS. This is so that you maximize the full potential of the FPS and Hz in your monitor. For rendering mode, you want to switch this back to performance mode after you've switched all of the settings that I'm about to show you. For brightness, you want to keep this to 100%, and for user interface contrast, you want to keep this to 1 times. These two options are honestly up to you and how you want to see your game. For colorblind mode, I keep this off. However, another good setting for this season, seeing as everything is bright, is Deuteronope 5. Motion blur, you want to keep this off. Auto set quality presets, and this option here, you want to just don't worry about those. Anti-aliasing and super resolution, you want to keep off. Temporal super resolution, you want to keep this either on performance mode, or you want to keep this on recommended depending on what your graphics and what your PC is capable of handling. For 3D resolution, you want to keep this on 100% so that you see all of the skins clearly and sharp, and so that they're not blurry. For dynamic 3D resolution, you want to keep this off. For nanite virtualized geometry, you want to keep this off. For shadows, keep them off. Global illumination is off. Reflections is off. View distance is near, or you can also put this on medium. Textures mine is currently low, however depending on if you're using high mesh or low mesh, you can either use low, medium or high. It's completely up to you. For auto download high resolution textures, you want to keep this off because this actually increases your decreases your FPS. And for high resolution texture reminders, you want to keep this off because it basically tells you to turn this option on. For effects, you can keep this either on low or medium. For post processing, you want to keep this on low. For show FPS, you want to keep this as on, so obviously you could keep a lookout for the FPS in the corner of your screen and see how it varies. For use GPU crash debugging, you want to keep this off. Latency markers, keep this as off, and for NVIDIA REFLEX low latency, you can keep this on or on plus boost depending on what your PC can handle. Now that we've changed all of these settings, you can go back to the top, go onto rendering mode, and obviously switch it back to performance mode and restart your game. Then we'll go through the other settings. Now that you've restarted your game, you want to go back onto your settings, and now you want to go over to the game option. In the game option, it's completely up to you. There's not much that you want to change here, as in there's not much that affects your game. However, you want to keep your replays all as off. Reason being is that it reduces your game from crashing and from getting sort of FPS bugs. For game UI, once again, it's all up to you. Touch motion's up to you, mouse and keyboard's up to you, controller options up to you, audio is up to you. However, there's one setting here, which is the 3D headphones. Currently in season 2, we've got audio a bit weird. When you've got a sort of skin or a player running around you, you basically hear it everywhere. So if they're running on your left, you'll actually hear it on your left and right, and if they're running on your right, you still hear it on your left and right. However, if you change this setting and turn it on, then if they're running on the left, you hear it on the left, and if they're running on the right, you hear it on the right. It basically tells you where they are. Visualize sound effects, you want to keep this as on as well, so obviously you can get markers on where the characters, where the other players are. For keyboard controls, wireless controller, and account and privacy, that is all obviously once again up to you. After you've done all these settings, just click apply, and that's all of the options that you can change in game. There are also more options that you can change outside of the game, the first one being Epic Games Launcher. What you want to do is you want to right click on Epic Games Launcher and you want to click run as administrator. By doing this, every time you load up your PC, every time you load up any sort of softwares, in the background your Epic Games Launcher will always be running as well. So that means that anytime there's an update in Fortnite or any other game that you've got, it basically auto updates it. By running it as administrator, what this means is that if you have OBS Studio open, Epic Games Launcher open, and something like Google Chrome, it will obviously prioritize the Epic Games Launcher. After you've done run as administrator, click open, and obviously you want to open up Epic Games Launcher. You want to go over to library, and then you want to look for the Fortnite game right here and click on these three dots. The first thing we're going to do here is click options. Now by clicking this, you want to make sure that obviously all of these settings are basically optimized to what you want. You want to turn high resolution textures off, so make sure it's unticked, because that obviously increases your reduces your FPS. It can also increase your input delay as well. If you don't play Fortnite Save the World, keep that unticked as well. And obviously you want to keep Fortnite Core and Battle Royale ticked, because obviously that's where you get your arena pubs and creative from. And then just click apply. And the other option that you can do by clicking these three dots is you want to go to manage, and you want to click verify files. Basically, anytime you update a driver, anytime you update your game, you want to click verify files so that your files are all updated and installed correctly, and so that your game runs a lot smoother. This stops you from crashing or having any sort of FPS glitches after an update. The next thing I'm going to show you is by going on to GeForce Experience, which is where your drivers are kept. What you want to do is you want to, after every update or whenever there's an update available for your drivers, you want to click check for updates, and you basically just want to install the driver. It takes a few minutes for your drivers to install. After you do install it, you end up having two options: express installation and custom installation. You want to click express installation so that it optimizes your driver for the best performance for your games. Along with your GeForce Experience and your drivers, you also want to check your NVIDIA control panel. Now on screen here, I'm going to show you all of the best settings that you want to have so that you have the best FPS and the lowest input delay. You want to go to adjust image settings with preview, and then you want to click the use the advanced 3D image settings and click take me there. This is obviously going to bring you here to where you can change all of these settings so that when you play Fortnite, your graphics have a certain setting and everything else has a certain setting, so that way you're not using too much of your driver, and you're not using too much of your driver, your GPU, and that way your game just runs a lot more smoother. On screen here, I'm going to show you all of the settings right now that you need to use, and obviously basically just copy all of them. The only one that you would change is OpenGL rendering GPU, because obviously you want to set it to whatever your wherever your GPU is, wherever your graphics card is. Other than that, everything should be the same. So that's everything you want to do to make sure that you get the best FPS and reduce your input delay. If you guys learned anything new from this video, or if there's any settings that obviously make your game run a lot more smoother, let us know in the comment section down below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, hit the like button down below as well. I'll see you guys in the next one.